Who wants to look more youthful? Me! As I'm nearing the big 40, I am almost certain that my new obsession now is to try and stay looking as young as possible for as long as I can. I guess I'm lucky I have a few things going for me. The fact that I don't have children, I don't have that extra bit of stress and responsibility over another living being. But let me tell you, I do have my fair share of life experiences and also stress. Looking younger, there are so many tips in that. It involves so many things like your health, what you eat, what you do, like your sleep, your mood, everything, right? But today, I want to give you a couple of tips on how to improve your makeup game to make yourself look more youthful. Because look, my thing is fake it till you make it. I think one of my biggest takeaway from 2023 is that I portrayed an image of just absolute happiness and success. Deep down, I'm literally the opposite of that. And it shows, not only am I good at faking it till you make it, but also sometimes looking better or like just externally can also affect how you feel on the inside, because instantly you feel better about yourself because you're looking better. So I highly recommend you look into try to make yourself feel better by also focusing on how you look and present yourself to the world. So as you age, there are a couple of tips in the makeup game that you should definitely consider, considering that, our skin and the whole trend, everything is different now. So we need to keep in mind what goes with our face. So first of all, less is definitely more. And this is so true, especially as you get older, because the more you pack on foundation, eyeshadows, all of that, it's gonna look cakey and it's gonna sit in the lines and cracks and all of that. So you wanna use just enough to give you an enhancement of your natural features, but also cover some of those imperfections so we can focus on the beauty on your face, right? So my skin in general has definitely shifted from my 20s to my 30s. I was super oily, I was acne prone. You guys know, I was acne girl, right? So a lot of the foundations and things I used back then was matte, it was acne, even acne focus. I had green tea concealers and things like that just to combat the oiliness, but also the acne. But as you get older, your skin is not that oily anymore. It is kind of going towards the more of the drier side, but also because you have fine lines and wrinkles, you don't want those cakiness to sit in those cracks. You want to kind of let's just smooth it over. Let's blur it, right? So we don't focus on those things. First, always start off with a good base. I'm currently using the Charlotte Tilbury one because it was tested to be the least oily. I love it for the fact that this packaging is so cute. It's a squeeze bottle. It gives you the most natural finish without that white cast. It is definitely less oily out of all of the non-mattifying sunscreens that I have. So once you have a nice base, you can then go in with foundation. So you want to opt for foundations with more of a natural or a glowy finish versus matte. Now I actually start with a lot less foundation than I did before. I'm actually using the Chanel tint. It's the Chanel tint, the little ones with the bubbles in it. It is probably, I think, on God's earth, the lightest coverage you can get. It's literally like a glow with a slight tint. Honestly, back then I would wear that on the bottom and then another foundation on top. You could probably do that still, but for me, that's actually all I need at the moment. And I go back in with a concealer to conceal those spots that I want to kind of cover a bit more. And you also want to grab a lighter colored concealer to highlight those areas. The concealer is so important, and you can actually have different types of concealers. You can have ones that specifically target dark circles and eye bags, and then you can have a concealer that specifically highlights. And usually concealers that are too light for my skin tone, I end up using as a highlighter. And then you want a concealer that is literally the closest match to your skin, so it kind of blends out between those three shades. Before we used to apply concealer like a triangle all over the face, the whole shebang. Now you kind of just want to spot conceal and just go in over the areas that you kind of want to add a bit more coverage. So for me, it's just those highlighted points. If I have a breakout, then I might go over that with the concealer, but in this case, I want to keep my skin looking as natural and fresh as possible. So the next thing is a blush, and the blush placement, but also the blush color is so important. You want to opt for something that's kind of rosy, but also mimics the natural flush. So you want to go towards more pinkish shades or like rosier shades, as opposed to like a peach or a lavender or things like that. So I'm currently using this one that I love. As you can see, I've hit pan. I can use this on the cheeks, on the lips, basically anywhere. So I use a round brush and then I kind of dab it into the cheeks, and you kind of want to focus on the area where you would look like you were blushing, or you were like, you had a few drinks and you're kind of like flushing but you still want to be cute. Definitely around the cheeks, a little bit around the nose. You can even go up to your eyes, the temples, because you're going to blend it out anyway. So just don't worry. You might look a little bit crazy now, but it will work. It will make sense at the end. And then you kind of want to focus in the center of the face, so just under your eyeballs. That's kind of where you want to focus more of the color, because you want to emphasize the cute and innocence, right, of you. Once you're done with that, contouring is also important, but contouring has definitely changed the game nowadays. You want to stay in the consistency of liquid or cream contours, because right now everything we put on our skin have been either cream or liquid base. We don't want to go in with powder just yet. So I'm currently using the Charlotte Tilbury wand, but you can use any cream concealer or any cream contour that you can find. Using a small brush, I basically, instead of doing a stroke that we used to go from the bridge of the nose all the way down, like straight down nose, that is like definitely not in anymore, because it's all about the contour and the natural way your nose should look with the natural shadows. So obviously it would kind of go halfway, and that's kind of where the bridge of the nose extends, and then you want to kind of feather out towards the tip of the nose, and they still emphasize on the tip of the nose being the highest point of your face. So you kind of want to draw or carve out a tip on the nose to kind of give you the illusion of a cuter, more pointier nose. Again, looking more youthful, more glowy. You just want to blend out that contour as much as you can, because it is a cream base and you want to make it look as natural as possible. You can definitely go in with your fingers or a sponge, or even with a bigger brush, just to kind of make it look a little bit more natural. While I'm here, I would contour the sides of my face as well, and also my double chin. That's my concern, and that's something that I have to do. If that's not your concern, you can totally skip this step. Once everything is blended into the edges, you want to like blend all of the contour towards the hairline, because that's kind of where you create the shadow of a smaller face. Because so if you don't have baby hairs and things like that, you kind of want to contour to make your face look tiny and cute. I remember back in high school, everyone had the thin arch brows and we all overplucked it, and then comes 2020 and everyone's all about bushy brows and the luscious brows. And I get it. You know why? Because bushy brows equals youth. Only young people have hair, right? Because old people are balding and whatnot. So of course having luscious brows makes you look more youthful. But again, that is not for everyone. Not everyone can pull off that luscious bushy brow. So we have to work with what we've got. But we can also mimic a fuller looking brow. I don't know if you guys remember, but I actually tattooed my eyebrows it was tattooed for a long time. It only got to the point where it sort of faded to like a grayish color that I was like, okay, no, I need to remove this because it doesn't even look natural anymore. So I had it laser removed recently, but there's still a little bit of pigment left, but it's not ideal. So I do have to fill in my brows every day, unfortunately. This is why I have an obsession with brow products. Let me tell you, I could be traveling with like one eyeshadow, but I've got like 20 brow products. Wow, that is definitely not how I imagined I would be like. Because in my 20s when I'm traveling, there would be like 20 palettes with like 50 lip glosses or lip products. Now it's 20 eyebrows, one eyeshadow palette. I don't know if you want to call it a palette, it's just a pot, really, let's be honest. And three lip product. Who am I? Who am I? Anyways, that's not the point. The point today is I would go, and I am obsessed with fine point eyebrow pencils. So first I would like to map out the shape of my brows. So the easiest way is to kind of go straight from the center of the brow towards the tip of the brow. You want to do the same on the other side so it kind of looks more balanced, and then you would kind of go back in using the fine tip to kind of draw in little hairs. So that's how you would fill in the gaps with like little strokes of hairs, and that's why you need a fine tip brow pencil for that, because that's the only way it would work. For me at least. I normally use two colors because you kind of want to make your brows look more natural. So you can go for like a darker brown and then also a lighter brown. So then there's like a mixture of those colors in a gradient. And then when you go towards the center of the brows, you obviously want to draw hair strokes going up. Towards the middle, you can start to kind of go towards the middle of the brow, and then towards the tip, it kind of arches down. Asians tend to have that kind of shape of brow, so I like to go with the natural hair direction, so it looks a lot more natural. Once that's all done, I go in with another brow product. I would then go over with a brow gel, just to kind of like have everything sit in place and stay there all day, because I still tend to have oily skin at the end of the day, and I don't want my brows to be sliding off or missing a chunk. So having them stay, brow gel is the way to go. So like I said, I like only travel with like one eyeshadow, and what I have with me is this Hourglass glittery pot. It is like the prettiest shimmery natural glittery pot that you can get. It's not like glittery to the point of like I'm going to a party, but it's like the nicest micro shimmers with like the most, how the light hits the eyeballs, it just makes your eyes sparkle. So if you want someone to fall in love with you, you need to wear this eyeshadow, because using a ring finger, I kind of place it at the center of the eyeball so that when the light hits your eyes, it gives you that kind of glistened, you know, really fairy tale, beautiful anime look almost. And that's literally all the eyeshadow I use nowadays. I have become that girl. To be honest, as you get older, you don't need a ton of eyeshadow. You just want to give your eyes a bit of life, a bit of texture, a bit of something. And so just one color, like 1 to 2 color max. You could go fancy and like contour the outer corners of the eyes, but you know what? I'd rather go in with eyeliner. So I carry an eyeliner with me everywhere I go. So in my bag, it is a lip gloss, a lip liner, an eyeliner, a mascara, and hand cream. Those are the things that I need, right? So it doesn't matter where I go, I need an eyeliner. And I feel like as you get older, black can be a little bit more harsh. So I tend to go for like a brown or a dark brown liquid eyeliner, and it has to be brush tip. I don't know how people deal with felt tip. I really don't. So it's a brush tip, and I start from the center of my eye and I try to go outwards and up, because the shape of my eye, hooded, also Asian and small. So I need to make do. Right? How I've discovered this eyeliner works for my eye is that it doesn't cover the line, or at least my hooded eyes don't cover the line as much if I start from the center and go out. If I'm fancy, I can tightline on the inner corners a little bit, but I don't want to make it any thicker than like the most tiniest line on the earth, because if it goes thicker, my eyes actually look smaller. So you want to make sure your eyeliner suits your eye shape, right? So the best trendy, or the best way is to have a look at yourself in the mirror and check your eyes. If you can see your eyelids when you're looking directly into the mirror, then this eyeliner should work for you. So you want to start from the center and out, and then just fill in the little triangle part. Now this is the part where you kind of want to powder down everything. I am obsessed with this Givenchy little mini version of the Prism powder. This is so freaking cute. It is like the most finest powder you can find, but because there's a combination of those 4 colors, it gives you the most natural look. It doesn't change and alter your current skin color or the foundation or the blush or whatever you're trying to mattify. It does not alter the color at all. It just gives you that more of a matted, and everything stays in place. And although it's not super matte, I feel like if you want to like reapply throughout the day, you could still go back in there and your skin will still look amazing. It's perfect for the under eye, and it's perfect for covering any like pores and fine lines. So I love it, love it, love it. You can go back in and use like a makeup spray if you want to go hardcore. That's definitely doable. But for me, it depends on what my day's like. Last but not least is the lips. My gosh, have I seen this lip trend go crazy. I have to admit, I have so many lip products and so many lip liners, and I'm really embarrassed to say that I actually didn't use my lip liners until recently, and now that I'm obsessed, like literally obsessed, because now I get it. So the Youthful look is all about overdrawing the Cupid's bow. Even with someone who has fat lips like me, I still overdraw the top lip, because that creates a pouty, youthful look. So even if you have sausage lips like mine, you can still do this, right? You basically overline just the center and the top where the cupid's bow meet. You just want to fill in the rest of your lips as normal, right? Because once you apply gloss over it, adorable. It hides the fact that you overdrew your top lip. No one will know. And it looks amazing in photos and cameras. Now I get it. I totally get it. It definitely makes someone look a lot more cute, pouty, kissable, adorable. It's definitely a youthful look, right? Don't you guys think? And that's it. That's pretty much the tips I can give you. You want to go glowy versus matte. You want to go straighter, more luscious brow, and you want to have more of a youthful blush and contour placement. Remember to just overdraw the cupid's bow a little bit to give you a pouty, more kissable lip, and that's it. I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you guys have any recommendations on what you want me to talk about next, please let me know down below. Remember, you can follow me on all of my social medias, and I will be posting new videos every week, and I'll see you guys next time.